We're good? Alright, sweet. Alright, I don't usually like to stream this early, but since I got some extra time on my hands, why not? Let's... I've been meaning to do this for like a few days, so... Yep, so last time we did Gen 2, and now we are on to Gen 3, Hoenn, which is my favorite region. And this should be especially fun. So, then after this, I might do a little bit of a break before we get on to Sinnoh. We'll see, though. But, like, I'm not going to go live and do this tomorrow unless I, really, really want to. So, yeah. I'll just say this. It is currently 11:18 in the afternoon, and I have a while before I have to go to work. So, sure, I might as well get this done. Since I wanted to do this later tonight. So, anyway. Enough stalling. Let's get to this, because there are a lot of Pokemon. There's a little bit more than Johto. So... yeah, I don't have a lot to say. It's Pokemon. You know the drill by now. This is all just my opinion. I might change some rankings by the very end of this list. I'll give my overall thoughts about them and so forth. So yeah, let's get started. First up, we have Trico. On one hand, Trico is very cool. But on the other hand, he's just kind of good. So you know what? He'll be, so far, the first Pokemon, and he'll be the king of B. Grovyle. S tier. I love Grovyle a lot. Mainly Ash's Grovyle, but also Grovyle in general is a really good mid-evolution. And I do understand why people want him up against Lucina from Fire Emblem. I get it. Yeah. So, I don't have a lot to say. Again, Grovyle is just a really good mid-evolution, and he's surprisingly perfect. Sceptile, you know what? Same ranking. Yeah, Sceptile is an awesome third evolution. His Mega Evolution looks great. He's an alright character to play as in Poké Tournament. Again, like I mentioned in my Johto for like 1 or 2 Pokemon, check that live stream if you want my thoughts about them, because I already did that ranking not too long ago. Yeah, Sceptile overall is a good, very good grass-type starter. That's it. I got nothing else to say. So far, the Sceptile line is very solid. Even though the last 2 evolutions, I think, are perfect. But Trico is still quite good, nonetheless, so... Torchic! Torchic gets the same ranking as Trico. B. I like Torchic. I'm surprised Torchic has a Squishmallow, and... I don't know. Torchic's pretty cool. If I had to say something else about it... oh yeah, I do have a plushie of Torchic somewhere. I don't know. I got nothing. Anyway, Combuskin. Combuskin gets an A. Combuskin is a bit better than Torchic. It can fight, and I really don't know what else to say. I'm sorry. I could say, May's Torchic eventually evolves into Blaziken. Sure. But I mainly remember May's Torchic evolving into Combuskin. I didn't see that much of her Blaziken, but that's just my experience. So, yeah, and Blaziken S tier. I don't know what else to say for Combuskin, I'm sorry. Blaziken kicks ass. Unlike Sceptile, who I thought was just decent to play as a Pokemon Tournament, Blaziken is definitely better. His Mega Evolution looks great, and he's an overall good fighting fire type. He very good. Mudkip. You know what? Hey, Mudkip is definitely the coolest looking one compared to the other 2 starters for this region. And, I don't know, be a cute fish. I mean, I don't know. Would you call Mudkip a fish? Not like that type of fish, but I don't know. No, it's like some land mammal. Okay, you get it. Anyway, Marshtomp. Marshtomp is B. Good design, but I just don't have a ton to talk about with it. 2. Zaki, Latif, M. I'm Zaki. Okay, hi. I was gonna say, I don't know what you mean by 2, but okay. Thank you, though. Marshtomp is, I was gonna say, he's kind of forgotten, but not really. It doesn't matter. Oh, okay, thank you. But remember, like, this is my list, so I'm just saying, like, this is just what I think about all this, so. Um, yeah, I got nothing else to say for Marshtomp, I'm sorry. Swampert. Swampert, gets an A, I'm sorry. Not as, like, oh, not you, Poochyena. Not as, like, badass as the other two. The audience is small, but it can be a lot on its own. Yeah, no, that's true. That is right about that. I don't expect to have, like, a 100 plus people audience on this stream, but no, that is a good point to bring up. Is there a way to get that a like? No? Okay. Oh, well. Thank you anyway for that. Swampert's Mega Evolution does look cool, and he is a cool third evolution, but just not as good as the previous two. Well, I mean, then again, though, Marshtomp did get a lower ranking, and Mudkip is, like, the best of the three, so I don't know, that's just my opinion. Poochyena, on one hand, he's just okay, but on the other hand, he's kind of good-ish, somewhat, so, like, maybe right in between. King of C tier. Not bad at all, just pretty good to okay. Mightyena, or Mightyena, I think I'll give him a B. But I'll put him right next to Trico. Mightyena is a very cool evolution for Poochyena. It's okay. Okay, my bad. It's okay if there aren't many viewers. There will be many on their own. Yeah, I know. I usually get viewers right after these streams are done anyway, so it's not a big deal. What do you play? Well, I mean, I'm not playing anything right now. I'm ranking these, but I do play video games, and I'm not really here to talk about that, but I'll just say this. I do play Pokemon, Kirby, not too much of Mario. I don't know. I have a lot. I have a lot of games, but I'm not here to talk about that. If you can understand. Thank you. Anyway, though. But yeah, Mightyena is very cool. A very cool wolf, and believe it or not, I find him a bit more interesting than real life wolves. I don't get the whole fascination with them, to be honest with you. But that's just my opinion. Zigzagoon. The Gala versions of Zigzagoon and Linoon are not on this list. They do look very cool, though. I would have given them no kidding an A ranking just for their design alone. Gengar is always in the heart. I don't know what you mean by that, but okay. Zigzagoon, I'll put in, you know what, B. I'm being a little bit generous in putting it in B. Zigzagoon is a cool raccoon, and I like his design. His name is pretty cool, and that's about it. And you know what? Linoon gets the exact same ranking, but I'm putting him slightly higher just because it's a cooler evolution. And I don't know. That's about it. Wurmple is just okay. I like its design, but Wurmple is not really a Pokemon I prefer to play, or prefer to have on my team. So, and you know what, while we're at it, Silcoon and Cascoon get the exact same ranking, but not their evolutions. I'm giving them an entirely different ranking. Silcoon and Cascoon's designs do look cool, I do like them. But overall, not exactly what I would think of right off the bat for bug Pokemon, or in this case, cocoon Pokemon, but that's just my opinion. Beautyfly kicks ass. Beautyfly is one of my many favorite butterfly type Pokemon. I've always been inspired by May's Beautyfly in particular. And yeah, Beautyfly's awesome. That's just my opinion. I prefer her a little bit more than Butterfree. Because, you know, this was a part of my childhood, even though I love Butterfree too. Check out my Kanto ranking if you want. But, yeah. And Dustox will get the same ranking, even though Dustox was mainly owned by Jesse. I do love Dustox, nonetheless, though. Because Dustox is also an awesome Pokemon. So, yeah, overall, Wurmple may be just okay, and same with its two Cocoon evolutions, but their Butterfly and Moth evolutions are actually surprisingly awesome. So, that's just my opinion. Lotad. No kidding, my favorite looking one of the bunch. So, you know what? For looks alone, I'm giving him an A. Lotad, I've always loved his design on. He's a blue little ball with a hat made out of a lily pad. It's supposed to be, I guess, a sombrero. I mean, yeah, I know for Ludicolo it is a sombrero, but I'm just saying. But yeah, again, I've always loved Lotad's design. It always looks very cool. Lombre. B. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I don't have a lot to say other than it's pretty cool. And Ludicolo, you know what? Same ranking. These two are equally good, but I just prefer Lotad because it's my favorite looking one. Seedot is just okay. It's cool that there is a acorn Pokemon. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we did technically have a Pinecone Pokemon, Pineco. So I guess the apple didn't fall far from the tree. But Seedot is not exactly who I think of at all. If we're counting Pokemon based off of, like, nature's objects. Like, again, we have a Pokemon that looks like a Pinecone, but now we have a Pokemon that looks like a acorn. Cool idea, but I'm just not really super into it. Nuzleaf, B. Nuzleaf's okay. Well, actually, no. The C tier is okay to decent. Yeah, you know what? No, I take that back. Same ranking, but Nuzleaf is a little bit higher. Shiftry is A. I don't have a lot to say about Nuzleaf, so I don't know. I like his design. But Shiftry is actually really good. His design looks great. He's a good leaf Pokemon, and that's really about it. Tailo. Tailo gets a B. I like Tailo. He is pretty cool, but not as badass as Swellow. I love Swellow a lot. I've always loved Swellow. Mainly, again, I'm bringing this up because, again, this is true from my childhood. And already I see other Pokemon that Ash actually had. Yep, so that boosts its ranking alone. This is a Pokemon that Ash had. Swellow kicks ass, but then again, I love Swellow in general, even if I didn't really see, even if I, didn't see Ash that much as a kid. Well, okay, Ash's Hoenn team back then, but still, I love Swellow in general. He's probably my favorite bird Pokemon, but I could be wrong about that, though. There are other bird-type Pokemon I love, like there's Articuno, there's Ho-Oh, there's Moltres, Kilowattrell's pretty cool. Talonflame's awesome, but yeah, anyway. But in general, Swellow is awesome. I love him so much. Wingull. Wingull's pretty good. I like its design. Looks pretty cool. And Pelipper will gain a slightly higher ranking. I don't have a lot to say about these two, other than I just like them. They're good water and flying type Pokemon, and they're cool birds. So I don't know. Alright, we have Ralts, who I think is surprisingly just okay. Pretty good. And Curla will get the same ranking. I don't have a lot to say about Ralts and Curla. Their designs are cool, don't get me wrong. But I, in general, just don't have a ton to say about them. Not as much as Gardevoir, though. I mean, do I even need to say anything? Gardevoir is just the perfect evolution. I know Gallade kicks ass too, who's surprisingly not here. I guess he was introduced in Sinnoh, which would make sense. But yeah, Gardevoir is awesome, yet elegant at the same time. And again, she's good to play as in Poké Tournament. Just check out that ranking if you want more detail. I do love her Mega Evolution. And I don't have a lot more to say. So, yeah, anyway. Surskit. I like its design. So, B. It's pretty good. Masquerain gets an A. I was originally gonna place her maybe an S tier just because, like, Masquerain's design has always been great, in my opinion. Masquerain is a... Well, I know it's an insect. I don't know what type of insect. It's like a moth or butterfly type combo. But Masquerain, I've always loved its design, and it's a very cool Pokemon in general. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Shroomish. You know what? You get a B. Compared to some of the other pre-evolutions, I've actually really liked Shroomish's design alone. So that looks pretty sweet. And I don't have a lot more to say. Breloom. Wasn't Breloom introduced in Johto? I could be wrong. No, it might have been this region. Again, I'm not sure. I might be wrong about this, but I don't know. It's just something about that feels familiar. But anyway, Breloom gets the same ranking, B. I like Breloom, don't get me wrong. He is very cool. But, I don't know. I guess I like them equally. Although, Breloom I like just a little bit better. Because, you know, it's the evolution. So, I don't know. Overall, though, I do like these two quite a bit. Alright, we have Slackoth. You know what? Higher B tier, because Slackoth I always found interesting. That's it. I like Slackoth's design, and it's pretty cool, so... And I guess Norman Slackoth in the anime is pretty cool, too. Vigoroth will also... Well, not also. Vigoroth will get an A tier. Vigoroth is very cool looking. I like its design, and it's just a cooler evolution. And Slacking will get the same ranking. Slacking, you do not want to mess with him. Slacking is very cool. I don't know what else to say. I like these two quite a bit. All right, we have Nincada, and as well as Shedinja and Ninjask. Nincada is just pretty good. I'm being a little generous in putting it in B tier. And as for Shedinja and yeah, no, I was right. Shedinja and Ninjask. I might put them in the same tier. You know what? Both of these go in A tier. I love their evolutions. They look great. And, yeah, I don't know. I just love their evolutions. They both look great. For sure. Whismur. Whismur gets a C. I don't have a lot to say about Whismur, but it's a pretty good Pokemon. So, yeah, not sure about that. Here we have, Loudred. Loudred looks pretty cool. So, I don't know, B tier. Exploud, on the other hand, I do love its design, so I'm putting it in A ranking. These Pokemon don't really get brought up enough to the point where I would have more to talk about, so I apologize. It's just, hey, that's where I would put them. Sorry, I don't got a lot more to say. Anyway. Makuta and Hariyama. I like Hariyama. Makuta is pretty good. B tier. Hariyama, though, A tier. Makuta does look cool. I'll give it that much. But I just love Hariyama more because, you know, he's a big, powerful, buff, muscle fighting Pokemon. Like Machamp. And Incineroar. Well, not really fighting. But, like, Incineroar is a fire dark type. But, yeah. But you still get the idea. By the way, Iron Hands is a very cool Paradox Pokemon for Hariyama as well. So anyway. Azurill. I did mention this in my Johto video. I already ranked Marill and Azumarill, but for Azurill, B. Azurill is cute, but I just don't have a lot to talk about with it. So yeah. Yeah, that's all I got. Nosepass. Nosepass is pretty cool. I like its evolution. So, yeah, that's it. Skitty, S tier. S tier. No questions asked. Okay, no, I'm kidding. I'll talk. Skitty has always been a very precious cat Pokemon, and, you know, like, if I've seen the anime, which is true, for this season in particular, you know I'm going to place some Pokemon that are from the anime, whether it be from Ash or May, very high up on my list, and you could definitely tell. Skitty is just an awesome cat Pokemon in general. I love its design, and... I was right about to say, I kind of wanted a plushie of her as a kid. I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't have any merchandise of her, unfortunately. But still, Skitty is an awesome cat Pokemon. I don't really have a lot to say. Delcatty, not as good as its predecessor, but I'll still give it a B tier. Delcatty is just good. I like its evolution, but just not as iconic or memorable as Skitty. But that's just my opinion. If Delcatty somehow got a Mega Evolution, I would legitimately be excited. Here we have Sableye, or as I like to call him with his impression, Sableye! Anyway, Sableye is pretty solid. Um, mm, B. I'm surprised he of all Pokemon got a Mega Evolution. So, that's about it. I like Sableye. His Mega Evolution looks cool. Oh, and the same thing can go for Mawile. Sableye is fun to play as in Pokemon Unite, though. Mawile, I will give... You know what? I'm going to be a little bit generous and give it an A ranking. Mawile is a very cool Steel Pokemon, and its Mega Evolution does look awesome. I love it. So, yeah, again, I'm sorry if I don't have a lot to talk about. Pardon me. I'm sorry if I don't have a lot to talk about. It's just like this isn't me reviewing an episode or something where I would have more to talk about. So apologies. All right, we have Aron, Laron, and Aggron. Aron is pretty cool, so I'll give it a B. Aron is a cool Steel Pokemon. I don't have a lot to say. Laron, I'll give an A. And you know what? Nah, Aggron will get the same ranking. I like all three of these guys. Laron does look very cool, and I love Aggron's Mega Evolution. And Aggron is just a great Pokemon in general. So, yeah, that's about it. Meditite and Medicham. Meditite is just okay. It's not bad. It's just pretty good. And Medicham is... I'm going to be honest with you. Neither one of these two are what I think of when it comes to fighting type Pokemon. I would think of, again, I would think of Machamp. I would think of Hariyama or Marshadow, something like that. There is something I did forget to mention, though, for the Johto stream. Remember how I mentioned that I don't think there's another Octopus-type Pokemon other than Octillery? I completely forgot about Graplocked, so I forgot about him. Graplock is a really good Octopus Pokemon. Manichams, yep, just like a fair amount of these, their Mega Evolutions do look great, so... Yeah, I'm sorry, Manicham gets a B tier. Just pretty good. Electric, or Electrike, and Manectric? I think that's how you pronounce the first one. Yeah, Electrike. Electrike is fine enough, B. And Manectric, I'll put an A. I've always said Manectric? I don't remember. Manectric, is pretty solid. And I'm surprised it of all Pokemon got a Mega Evolution, but it looks great. And Electrike is just pretty good. Plusle and Minun, oh, I love these guys. They're very supportive Pokemon. I would love to see them in Unite one day, whether it be them separately or together. They're both awesome Pokemon. Even though, yeah, I know, they're simple, but they're very supportive and cheerful, and I love that about them. Hey, Mike. Welcome. I've always loved these two. In fact, recently, I bought a keychain that had the two of them. Well, they're separate keychains, but you get the idea. Yeah, you know what? S tiers for both of them. Although, mine I'm giving a very slightly higher ranking just because I love the blue it has. But overall, though, I love these two genuinely equally. So, yeah. Volbeat and Illumis. Volbeat's pretty awesome. A tier. I have one. Volbeat is a very cool bug Pokemon. Even though it doesn't do too much, but I really like it. And Illumis, B. Not as cool as its other one, but still pretty cool. Okay, Mike said a comment that doesn't have anything to do with Pokemon. So, sorry, any viewers checking this out on YouTube. You're going to have to give me a moment. Mike said, hey, Bandit, I made some banana chocolate oatmeal. Do you want a bite? Ooh, don't mind if I do. Thanks, Mike. Anyway. Roselia S tier. I love Roselia a lot. And, well, it wasn't May that had one, but rather Drew. And, yeah, I didn't know how really damn good Roselia could be as a Pokemon. I love her design. I actually have a figure of her that I've had since childhood. I do still have it. And very, very good Pokemon. Just a very good flower Pokemon. I don't really have a lot to say. And, yeah, Roserade is cool, too. Don't get me wrong. Same with Badoo, but we'll get to that when we get to Sinnoh. Which won't be for a little while. Gulpin. Gulpin's pretty cool. But not as cool as Swalot. Swalot's awesome. Okay, on one hand, I'm tempted to put it in S tier just because I freaking love its design. It's a big purple blob with diamonds on it and whiskers. I think that's just a really cool design. Yeah, fuck it. S tier. Swalot is just an awesome Pokemon. Gulpin's cool too. Don't get me wrong. Very cool. But I just love Swalot's Pokemon, or Swalot better. Because again, I love its overall design. Plus, it's just more unique compared to Gulpin. But that's just my opinion. Alright, we have Carvanha and Sharpedo. Carvanha is pretty good. It's a cool Piranha Pokemon. But Sharpedo kicks ass. I love his Mega Evolution. And he's a really good Shark Pokemon. So, again, for some reason, I'm tempted to put them higher. And you know what? I'll put him in the King of A. He's very close to being, like, in the best tier ever. So, yeah. Alright, we have Wailmer and Wailord. I like these two guys pretty decently equally. But on this list, Wailmer gets a B and Wailord gets an A. Wailord is a big whale Pokemon, and that's what I like about it. But it's cool in general, and Wailmer is a smaller yet cute whale Pokemon. So, yeah. Numel and Camerupt. Numel's pretty alright. He's pretty cool. Camerupt, though, gets an A. I have really liked Camerupt. I think he's a cool camel Pokemon, and its Mega Evolution, again, just like these that do have Mega Evolutions, do look great. So, I do remember Camerupt, though, mainly for the Candid Camerupt episode of Advanced Challenge, actually. And, yeah, that's about it. Good stuff. Torkoal! Torkoal, I'm sorry for people who are expecting him in S tier, but A. Don't get me wrong, Torkoal is really good. Really good. Again. Well, not again. Torkoal was a part of Ash's team, so you would expect me to put it high, but not enough to be an S tier. But Torkoal is a really good turtle Pokemon. A fire type, that is, but yeah. Yeah, Ash had it on his team, and it's really good. So, I don't know. I got nothing else. Spoink and Grumpig. Okay, had to take me a second. Spoink is adorable. B tier, but Grumpig is just, yeah, these two get the same rankings, just that Spoink ranks a little bit higher up. So yeah, that's all. Spinda. Spinda's pretty cool. I'll put her in the higher B tier. Yeah, I'll put her right next to Torchic. I don't have a lot to say about Spinda, but Spinda is... Okay, I was just looking through my phone, just making sure that the quality is good, so... Alright, never mind, we're good anyway. Spinda has always been cool looking, and... I don't know, I like it. Trapinch, just okay. It's just okay. Vibrava, or Vibrava. You know what? A tier. I like Vibrava quite a lot. I even have one that has a high enough level. Excuse me. Anyway. And, Flygon. Again, higher A tier. I'll put it right up here. Flygon does kick ass. But, same with Vibrava. But, again, Trapinch is just okay, really. So, I don't know. I got nothing else. Here we have... Oh, okay. Cacnea! Cacnea gets an S tier. If you know how Cacnea belongs to James in this season, then you know why I'm placing it high on my list. Cacnea has always been a really cool Pokemon that is like a cactus, and I love it. So, yeah, again, Pokemon for Team Rocket, they're guaranteed to place pretty high up on lists like this. And Cacturne is still pretty cool, but not as cool as its pre-evolution, but Cacturne still gets an A tier. And, pardon me for a moment, I'm gonna lay down, so hold on. I do like Cacturne, it does look cool. Don't get me wrong, whoa. The hell? Laptop, stop making noise. Sorry, you're gonna have to deal with that, y'all. Hold on, let me try and lay this thing flat down. I mean, it's not loud enough to the point where, like, it's going to be a problem. So, I don't know. Alright, this thing is now completely flat. I apologize, you're going to have to deal with the loud audio for a moment. Anyway, like I was saying, Cacturn does look cool. I like its evolution, but again, just not as iconic as Cacnea. So that's about it. Swablu and Altaria. You know what? They both get an A ranking. Swablu is adorable. Yeah, very cool. And Altaria is also very cool as well. And I do love its Mega Evolution, so... Okay, get... Laptop, can you be quiet, please? I'm sorry, guys. This is just gonna be annoying for the next, like, 5 minutes, anyway. Yeah, again, Altaria is very cool. Same with Swablu. I love both of them. And, they're both very good bird Pokemon. I don't have a lot to say. Zangoose. I'll put Zangoose in A. Zangoose is very cool. That's it. Salvipa, on the other hand, is an awesome snake. S tier. Whoa. No, go down there. Yeah, Jesse had a Seviper. Oh, sorry about that. Jesse had a Seviper, and it's pretty badass, actually. A very good snake. Although, I think in my Gen 1 ranking, I think I gave Arbok an A tier, but I'm giving Seviper an S tier. Well, yeah, Seviper is way more iconic, in my opinion. Because, you know, Team Rocket, but you get the idea. Overall, I love Seviper quite a bit. Alright, we have Solrock and Lunatone. I'm sorry if I talked a bit fast. Okay, the fan speed is slowing down, thank God. Sorry if I talked a bit faster. I didn't mean to do that, but anyway. I love Solrock and Lunatone a lot, so... On one hand, I want to give them just an S tier alone for being a Sun and Moon Pokemon. And they look awesome, but on the other... I'm thinking, hang on. Also, I don't really have any I don't have anything negative to talk about with these two, so... You know what? They could S, but they're going to be at the very bottom of S, though. They are still both really damn good. Again, I love Solrock and Lunatone. They both look great. They both look like actual Sun and Moon Pokemon, and I love that about them. Well, before we had Solgaleo and Lunala being the Sun and Moon type Pokemon from Alola, but again, we'll get to that when we get to Alola. So, yeah, I don't have a lot to say. Just, these two are really good. Barboach, or, yeah, I think Barboach is how you pronounce it, and Whiscash. I know Whiscash. Barboach is... it's fine enough. B tier. Barboach is not really on my mind that much when I think of, I guess, eel Pokemon, if you want to say that. But Barboach is still pretty cool nonetheless. Whiscash, I will give an A tier. Whiscash is a really cool whale Pokemon. Whiscash. And it's pretty well known in the anime. So, yeah, I don't know. Corphish! Corphish, no question. Also, like some of these other Pokemon that Ash had, get very high up on the list. So, yeah, Corphish kicks ass. S tier. Oh my god. I have always loved Corphish. Again, just like Ash's team from Hoenn, I've always loved them for many, many years. And I still do. Like, Corphish has always been one of the more inspiring Pokemon of Ash's team for this season. Or this region. And yeah, Corphish kicks ass. I love him a lot. He might just be alone my favorite crab Pokemon. So yeah. Crawdont is nowhere near as good, but I will still give him a solid A ranking. Crawdont is cool. He's very good. I just don't really have a lot to talk about. Alright, we have Claydol and Baltoy. Baltoy will get a B. Not for the first letter of its name, but because it's good. Baltoy's pretty cool, but Claydol gets an A. Claydol has a way cooler looking evolution, and plus, it's more powerful. Well, I mean, I think it's more powerful, but I don't know, though. Anyway, we have Lileep and Crawdley. Well, Cradley is the second one. Lileep gets... No kidding, I've loved its design, so I'm going to put an A. You know what? Both of them get an A. Yeah, Lileep, I've always loved its design. It's a cool flower-like Pokemon. And, I don't know, I like it. But Crawdley is very cool, too. So, I don't know. Alright, Anorith and Armaldo. I do love Armaldo, but, like, late last year, I started loving it a bit more than usual. But then again, that's because I finally caught one in Pokemon Shuffle. By the way, yes, I do still play that game on my phone. So, anyway. Anorith is actually really cool. I'll give it a B tier. But I said it was really cool, rather. A. Both of them get A. I really like, where's Anorith? Oh, there's Anorith. I do really like these two. Well, actually, wait, I'm sorry. Armaldo, I just love more because, you know, it's the evolution and you could do more with it. But Anorith just has a really, really cool design. And I don't know, I like it quite a lot. But yeah, Armaldo is just a really good evolution for Anorith. Alright, here we have Feebas. Feebas is definitely better than Magikarp, but not by much. It gets a C. No, you know what? Nah. The king of C tier. Feebas at least can do something rather than Magikarp. So, because it can actually, you know, do stuff instead of splash over and over and over and over again. So yeah, Feebas is pretty cool, but Milotic is awesome. Milotic is a very good, surprising evolution for this fish Pokemon. It is gorgeous, and I love it a lot. Not romantically, but just in general, I love it a lot. And yeah, I don't know. Then again, don't a fair amount of us already like Milotic? I mean, Mike, in the audience, you at least know who Milotic is. Because I say that because the Pokedex entry mentions that it's supposed to be the most beautiful Pokemon. So, I don't know, I'm just making commentary here. Cast form. I do really like his other weather forms that, unfortunately, are not on this list. The other ones are in Pokemon Go, actually. There's the sun, ice, water, and I think grass-type forms, if I remember correctly. All of them look great. I would have given them an A tier for their designs alone. But generic, normal cast form gets a B. Not bad at all, just pretty good. Kecleon. I thought Kecleon was in Johto. But I guess not. Okay. Kecleon. I will give a B. Kecleon is a cool chameleon. Or chameleon, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mispronounce it like that. But, alright, that's about it. Alright, we have Shuppet and Bannet. Shuppet's pretty cool. B. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that, I didn't mean to bang into the camera. Shuppet's a cool ghost, and Bannet gets an A. Or Banit. I don't know. Bannet is how I've always pronounced it. Bannet's Mega Evolution looks great, and it's a very cool Ghost-type Pokemon, and it does have somewhat of a tragic past for its Pokedex entry, but that's not my story to tell for now. We have Duskull and Dusclops. I love Dusknoir, who's not on this list. That came in Sinnoh, but again, we'll get to that when we stream Sinnoh, which won't be for a while, but we'll get to that soon. Duskull, I'll give a B. Very cool. And Dusclops gets an A. I love Dusclops' design. And, yeah, I don't know. I just love its design. Looks very cool, too. And again, Duskull is a cool Pokemon as well. A cool ghost type. Tropius. Tropius is actually very good. I love Tropius quite a bit. It's a fun grass flying type Pokemon. And it's pretty sweet in general, so I don't have a lot to say. Chimecho is awesome. I'm surprised Chimecho, of all Pokemon, got a Mega Evolution. I was gonna say I might rank him higher, but I'm not sure, though. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I kind of want to put Chimecho in S. just because I really love its design, and plus it's very sweet. So, I'm not sure. I'll just leave it an A for now. I'll probably come back to it. But yeah, Trimako is very cool. Again, I'm surprised Eatable Pokemon got a Mega Evolution. It looks great. And that's about it. Alright, we have Absol. Absol. I think you can all understand why Absol gets an S tier. Absol is a very good ghost... not ghost. I'm sorry. Goat Pokemon. Oh, I don't know why I said ghost. No, he's a dark type. I don't know. Like, do I need to say anything? It's Absol. He got a Mega Evolution. He's awesome. He's a good speedster in Pokemon Unite, and he's well known for being pretty heroic in some way. So, yeah, I don't know. Absol is just awesome. All right, we have why not? Yeah, why not? B tier, not as good as Wobbuffet, but still, I like why not nonetheless. Why not is pretty cool. Pretty cool pre-evolution. I was expecting Wobbuffet to get a pre-evolution, but there you go. All right, we have Snorunt. There's no Frostlass, but that's up until the next generation. So, but we'll get to that soon. I'm sorry, not Frost. Snorunt, I will put in B. I like its design, and Glalie gets an S. Again, Glalie was a part of Ash's team. They got an S tier. Glalie kicks ass. Its Mega Evolution looks great. And it's one of my many favorite ice types. I don't know. I'm sure you all get the drill by now. Spheal, I know, is adorable, and I do definitely get why. It's a seal that's a ball. A big old bouncy ball will not really be a good idea. I'm a bit tempted to put an A, but I'm sorry, B. Definitely good. I do understand why y'all love Spheal, but for me, though, I just don't think it's, like, as good as y'all say. But definitely good, though. Don't get me wrong. CLO is surprisingly not as good, but I do still like it. I don't know. Wolrain gets a... I don't know, should I put an S? It wasn't actually Ash's. It wasn't actually Ash who had a Wolrain, but rather Katie from the Hoenn League Championship. I don't know, like, I love Wolrain, but I don't think I have it in me to place that S. So yeah, you know what? A tier is good enough for me. Yeah, Wolrain is a really good walrus Pokemon, and he's the most iconic of the three evolutions, if I'm going to be honest with you. So, yeah. Alright, I'm going to take a quick break for a moment, so I will be back in a few minutes, and we will finish this ranking, so give me one moment, y'all. Okay, I am back. Thank y'all for waiting. So, all right, where were we? All right, I'm done talking about Walrein for the most part. So anyway, Clam Pearl is pretty good. I like its design. It's a cool clam, but not like as cool as Cloyster, like I mentioned, or Fortress. If we're talking about like clam or oyster type Pokemon. Hold on. Sorry. Water. Anyway. I'm drinking fucking water. So anyway, sorry about that. Clam Pearl's cool. It's cute, so I got nothing else to say. Gorbis and Huntail, I think, are awesome. A tier. I love both of them, so yeah, I don't know. I just love these two. They're very cool. Love the designs, and that's about it. Relincanth. I've always been interested in Relincanth because it's a water rock Pokemon. It's a rock type fish. And I find that genuinely very cool. So it was kind of Pokemon Shuffle that helped me get into Relincanth. Because like its design was really cool, so I don't know. Anyway. And Love Disc. Love Disc is pretty good. B tier. Alright, we have Bagon, who I think is a cool little dragon. B tier. And you know what? Shelgon gets the same ranking. I like these two. They're both very cool. But, I don't have a lot to say. Oh, yeah, Shelgon does more than some of the other Cocoon Pokemon, because, like Pupitar, like I mentioned in Johto, he can actually still fight. And that's cool. Salamence gets an A tier. Not the dragon I would think of for Pokemon. I would think of, again, Dragonite or Latios, Latias, who are on this list. So forth, so... But yeah, Salamence is still a really good dragon. Again, just like some of these who have Mega Evolutions, Salamence's Mega Evolution is really good too. So, yeah. Very good dragon. Beldum. Beldum's design is really cool, but I'm putting him in B only because he can only learn Takedown or Headbutt or whatever it is. And that honestly sucks, because why can't you give him more moves? I don't know. Matang? Matang gets an A. It was actually Morrison who had a Matang. Well, I mean, it was Beldum, but then it evolved into Matang. And, again, the anime. And Metagross, I will give an S tier. Metagross kicks ass. He's a very good robot. Well, not robot. Well, yeah, kind of. Steel-type Pokemon, so... Again, just like some of these, his Mega Evolution looks great, and I do love playing as him in Pokemon Unite, so... Yeah, Metagross kicks ass. Alright, now we have nothing but legendaries. So we have the Reggies, Regirock, Regice, and Registeel. We'll get to Regigigas when we get to Sinnoh, and then in Galar, Regidrago, and Regieleki. Regirock, it took me a while to love Regirock, so I'm putting him in A tier. Regirock is very cool. And I like him. He's a very good legendary. You know what? All three of these will gain the same ranking, but if I had to pick my favorite and least favorite of these three, Regirock would be my least favorite, but my favorite of these three, it's a tough choice, because I do love Regice and Registeel. They both look awesome. And they're both great Pokemon in general, so... But again, if I had to pick one that's my favorite, yeah, I guess Regice. I don't know. I just love Regice, and Pikachu went up against Regice, and she actually won, so... I mean, that's not going to boost my ranking for it that much, but it's just something to point out. So, alright, we have Latios and Latias, who are getting an A. No, I'm kidding. They're getting S. It took me a long time to get into Latios in particular, because Okay, I have a bit to talk about other than just saying, yeah, it's a good dragon Pokemon. I like it. But no, I have a little bit to talk about with Latios in particular. The main thing holding me back from loving him is Tobias's Latios, who actually defeated Pikachu in the anime. I mean, the battle was tied in Sinnoh, but still, that's the grudge I had that made me not like Latios that much. But around last year, since he came into Pokemon Unite, I actually deeply regret that. Because Latios is actually awesome. I mean, I didn't hate it or anything, but like, it's just. Tobias isn't really a good character, in my opinion, and I'm not really going to dive into that. But I will say this, he's the reason why I didn't love Latios that much. But at least my opinion on Latios hasn't actually changed all this time. But, like, this isn't a scenario where I see Latios and I immediately think of Tobias. No, I'm going to be like, I mean, that's cool, but wait, don't I hate you or something? Or not like you that much? But, yeah, no, I deeply regret not giving Latios the respect he deserves. So, and that's why I have a plushie of him, and I love him quite a lot. Same with Latios. They're both my dragons. So, all right, we have the two legendaries. Well, technically three if you were playing Emeralds, but you get the gist. Groudon and Kyogre. I love these two so much. Kyogre's an awesome water type, and Groudon is a badass fire type. Excuse me. So, yeah, they're the main legendaries. And I don't have a lot to say. So, I love these two very much. Rayquaza, not as good as the other two, but still, like, really, really good. So, S tier. Rayquaza is that one dragon type that you know you could at least like. And he's the one that actually stopped the two from fighting each other. And yeah, Rayquaza's Mega Evolution does look great. So, again, not the dragon I would think of immediately, but definitely one of, like, I think the top 20 or something. So, yeah, I don't know. I love Rayquaza. He's very cool. Alright, we have two mythical Pokemon, Jirachi and Deoxys. Or Deoxys. Yeah, I've always said Deoxys, but anyway. Jirachi gets A tier. I unfortunately don't have one of these. I mean, I'm kinda... No, it's a lie. I was gonna say, I'm trying to get one kind of in the Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl remake, but I never got around to doing that because if I were to bring a Pokemon in, their moves would change, and I don't want that to happen, so... I guess I'm gonna have to play the game normally then to get around it in some way. But anyway, but Jirachi is very cute, very good Pokemon. It's a good mythical, but I just wish I can have access to it easier. That's all. And it's known for making good wishes. At least I think so. If not, I'm going off a movie Unleashers here. Now Jirachi gives wishes, right? Yeah, I think so. In the games or in general. And Deoxys is a awesome mythical Pokemon. I do love its different forms that it has. Like, the one that is right here is mainly its normal form, but there's also attack, defense, speed, and I think... No, that's it. Just those four. Deoxys is a very interesting Pokemon, also because it's an alien, and I find that really cool. So... yeah, I got nothing really else to say other than I love Deoxys. I thankfully have one of these. I only have its attack form as a shiny. I'm not kidding with you. But yeah, overall, I'm happy to have one of these. Now, I'm going to go over this list, see if there's any placements that I want to change. Like, Grovyle definitely is not the king of S. He's definitely not changing his tier, but I'm probably not going to put him in the top of S. So, yeah, Beautyfly could be him. Same with Swallow. Go over there. Gardevoir could be right here. That's fine. I'm looking. These two could be a bit... yeah, these two could be at the bottom of S, I'm sorry. I'm just looking here. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, right there. Um, just looking. I think that's good for A. Like, up until maybe Plusle, I guess. Yeah, you know what? I think that's fine. Up until Plusle, the rest of these could be changed in any order, and I wouldn't really complain so much. As for A tier, I'm fine with it for now, but I just want to give it a quick look. Um, Swablu I might put right here. Not, I didn't mean to move Chimiko, I meant to move Walrein. But I guess Chimiko could go right there. I mean, I know the legendary shouldn't be down there, but I guess up until Walrein, yeah, then this list could be changed in whatever order, and I wouldn't really mind so much. B tier looks good so far. Yeah, that's fine. C tier. I think that should do it. Yeah, I think that's it. So, that is every Hoenn Pokemon ranked. This has been fun. But I'm definitely taking a break from doing this. So, don't expect Sinnoh tomorrow or anything. It might take me around a week or two to get to Sinnoh. So, because like these streams, I'm just taking my time with it and just waiting until I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to stream and get this ranking done. So, yeah, thank y'all for joining, and I don't have a lot more to say, so I'll see y'all later. I'm Colin Astro Healer. Or, I'm sorry. Here, let me repeat my phrase again. I'm Colin Astro Healer. I'll see y'all later with whatever we do next time, and that'll be all for now.